Cooks, and it's Saturday night, and I had made some sweet potatoes, and I haven't done anything with them, and we haven't been on here live in a month, so I told Chris I'm going to make y'all some fried pies with sweet potatoes. So I'm going to just talk to y'all for a second while I'm mixing up my biscuits, and then I'll bring y'all up closer, all right? So I think I'll just make a regular batch of biscuits. Well, actually a half batch of biscuits. Because it's just me and Chris, and there ain't no sense in me making a whole bunch of pies. So I'm going to start with a cup of flour and a little bit of shortening, just like you're making a biscuit. And you're just going to use your blending fork and blend that into the flour. I hope y'all are having a blessed Saturday night. I know Chris is watching football. So he's in there watching football instead of, he wants to watch he's watching Georgia play somebody, Florida, I think. Oh, Georgia and Florida playing. They're supposed to be big rivals, you know. All right, so that's all we got to do for that. So add a little buttermilk. And this is going to be quick. I got my skillet over here preheated already. So we're just going to mix up some sweet potato stuff to go in these. So I add my milk just a little at a time. And you just mix it, and you just continue to mix it. Now, when you're making fried pies or dumplings, you don't want a real wet dough. You want more of a stiff dough, okay? So it's more workable. So, see, I never did add any more buttermilk to that. I just kept stirring it until I got all the flour incorporated into it. And now what we're going to do is knead it a little bit. And I'll bring y'all up for the rest of the video. How's that? Y'all seen enough of me. So let me go put this in the sink and I'm going to bring y'all up here. So, live. When you're live, you got to do it all. When you by yourself. Okay, so we're going to take a little flour, put it into this dough. And when you make a fried pie or dumplings, you got to put enough flour into the dough that when you pick up the sheet after rolling it out, it don't tear apart. And that's my trick. I remember when I started this show back 5 years ago, everybody wanted to know why their dumplings were falling apart, or why they were this, or why they were that, and I never had a good answer for them. I just would say, y'all watch the video, and now I know that's the best answer you can give somebody. So we're just going to take a rolling pin and roll this out. And when you fry pie, remember this is biscuit dough and it's self-rising flour. So it's going to puff up, and you don't want it to be so puffy that it don't get done. So you need to roll it out pretty thin. And let me show you the trick. If you can pick your dough up and it not tear apart, and it's really not, y'all can't see up high because I got y'all down so low so y'all can see better. It's just right on the verge of being perfect, really. So we're just going to roll it out a little bit, cut a few circles out of it, and make a few pies. And the best size for a fried pie circle is your rotary sifter. If you don't have a rotary sifter, then go on the website and get you one and make you some apple fried pies or sweet potato fried pies or blueberry or peach or whatever it is you want. So there's your dough for your fried pie. So we're going to stack them up over here, cut a couple of more, and then we're going to mix up our sweet potatoes. And you know, they're not going to have time to bake or, you know, take forever to cook the sweet potato part. The sweet potato's done, but you can't put an egg in it like you would like if you were making a souffle or something like that. The only way you could do that is if you bake these in the oven. And you could bake these in the oven, but then they wouldn't be fried in butter and they wouldn't be as good, would they? Nope, they wouldn't. All right, we're going to get one more. One more. Y'all give a shout out. Hit the like button. We're live. It's harder to go live, y'all, because if I make a mistake or do something crazy, y'all see it. A lot of people won't go live when they're cooking, especially something like this. But I always got to have fun with y'all. Now, I'm going to open this door because it's hot. I don't even have my other air conditioner on. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up our sweet potato stuff. I'm going to bring y'all up just a little bit so y'all can see a little better. We're just going to work right here in this mess. I'm getting it on me and it don't matter. I didn't even put on a, what do you call it, an apron. All right, I got 2 baked potatoes. I baked these in my air fryer, y'all. The air fryer works really good to bake potatoes with. So I'm just going to pick off the dark spots and the peeling. And I'll go wash my hands, and then we're going to mix this up. Make it delicious. Boy, you never went in my granny's house that she didn't have some sweet potatoes made some kind of way, because she grew all her sweet potatoes every year. So we ate sweet potatoes every time we was down there. All right, let me rinse my hands off. Okie dokie. Now what we're going to do is just make it taste good. I ain't going by no recipe tonight. We're just cooking, all right? So I'm going to take me some sugar, put in here. There's a couple of potatoes, and this is brown sugar. And so I'm just going to put a handful of sugar a good handful of sugar per potato. Let me show you how Mama cooks, okay? And then you're going to open up some evaporated milk. I could have got out Eagle brand and killed 2 birds with 1 stone with the cream and the milk. But Mama probably didn't never have any of that, so this ain't opening right. Get you the old can opener. I got these on the website too. If you don't have one of these, they're wonderful for cream. We're going to put a little cream in there. We're going to put a little cinnamon in it. And a little nutmeg. That is not cinnamon. Yeah, it is. That's cinnamon. Now, you can put pumpkin pie spice in there this time of year if you want to. And this is nutmeg. And yeah, I put my finger in it. But you know what? The only thing I got on my finger is a little bit of sugar. All right. And we're going to mix it up. Y'all ready? I love these 4-cup measuring cups. If you don't have one, get you one. Because they're handy to mix up like egg whites and stuff like this in. We're going to taste it. We'll taste it and make sure that it tastes good. And y'all, Mama would have never used nutmeg, but I'm going to tell you, me and Chris like it, don't we, Chris? Chris is in there watching ball. Here, let me taste it. I'll let y'all see me taste it. That's pretty good, y'all. Pretty good. That's going to be good in the fried pie. Now, it's plenty sweet. Really and truly it is. And when I fry my pies, I drop them in butter and oil. So let's just go ahead, flour this, and get these started. Y'all ready? It won't take but a minute to fry them up. We're going to lay these out right here. Fill them. Flip them over and seal them. Now, I dip them in cinnamon sugar when I'm done. Mama didn't do that either, but you know what? Over the years, I've learned how to do some things that Mama didn't do. Real quick. Well, I guess we'll seal these first. Y'all, don't get too drunk. Y'all getting drunk without even drinking tonight. All right, look. Now, when you fill a fried pie, you can't fill it too full. So just put you a good heaping teaspoon in it. All it really needs. I wish y'all's here and y'all could eat one of these. These are perfect for fall festivals to sell in booths and like, you know, like your Halloween gathering, all that stuff where you sell your food. You can make these pumpkin pie, and boy, would they sell like hotcakes. It only takes a minute to make them. I used to make them every Sunday morning for church. Our church had a coffee shop, believe it or not, and I would make fried pies on Sunday morning. Just when you bend it over like that, just be forceful with it. Put the ends together, and it don't matter if some of it comes out and you squeeze a little out of it. Don't be scared. But anyway, I'd make some for church every Sunday morning. I really put too much in these, y'all. But we're going to pretend I didn't. Ain't we? Well, I don't want to. I want them to be good and like full of good stuff. Chris said take some out. So anyway, I would make apple on Sunday mornings, and I used dried apples and I cooked them down, and I didn't use any cinnamon because that's how we ate them growing up. Just plain old fried pie, no cinnamon, especially no nutmeg. But now me and Chris like to doctor our stuff up. So we like it all, don't we, baby? We like it all. Now I just fried that man a delicious steak in butter. And he actually had a sweet potato with his steak. And I had some left over. And I said, how long's it been since we did a live on YouTube? And he said, since the end of September. And I said, well, it's time I did one. So, y'all getting a treat tonight. This really is a live. Most of the time we play edited video. Now, if for some reason you're worried that these are going to open, and sometimes they do open a little bit while they're frying up, if you're worried about it, here, let me pour some oil in here. Okay, if you're worried about it, then you can wet the edges with some butter. Good Lord, I messed that one up. If you want to, but I never do. And if one opens, I just eat it anyway. Now, the only thing I hadn't done ahead of time, y'all, was mix up cinnamon sugar. So I got to do that right quick. So, I guess I'm going to let y'all watch these fry while I mix me up some cinnamon sugar. Now, this oil is hot, where it should be. I always put a test piece. I got it turned down. We're going to turn it up on a medium temperature. And that little piece I messed up, we'll grab, throw in here. And you should always throw a test piece in. Now, a lot of people use wooden spoons and different things, but I'm still old-fashioned. I just grab a little bit of dough and throw in there. And when it starts to fry and sizzle and float, and I do the same thing when I'm frying potatoes or squash or okra, once that grease gets good and that starts floating around and getting brown, then I know I can add stuff to it, okay? I've got to get some sugar right quick, y'all. And cinnamon. So it's looking good. I'm also going to make a pound cake tonight. So me and Chris are going to have plenty to eat. Okay, we're ready to drop these. Are y'all ready? We're going to throw a little butter in here first. Now, Mama didn't do this either, but let me tell you, I've learned that if you throw a little butter in your oil when you're dropping your pies, Holy smokes, are they good. It makes them even better. Now your oil should be hot, but not too hot, so that your dough doesn't over brown, because you want it to cook the dough. So you don't want it too hot. Let's drop our pies. And this is a 10-inch skillet. And it's easily going to hold 4, okay? And see how it foams up like that? That's from the butter. That's what the butter does to it. So you're really just cooking the bottom, and then you're going to flip it and cook the other side. Do we have many people watching, Chris? Wow. We're doing good tonight, y'all. So while these are getting brown, it won't take them that long, y'all. We're going to mix this up some cinnamon sugar. So real quick, we're going to put in some sugar, because we're going to rub them in it. And if these were pumpkin pie, if I'd have used pumpkin pie spice, I think that'd have been even better this time of year. But they'll be good no matter what. We actually love sweet potatoes. I got me a cooking pumpkin right here. You see how pretty it is? It's even got a crooked handle. Isn't that the prettiest pumpkin you've ever seen? I got it on the side of the road in Florida. So there's some cinnamon sugar. We got to get over here and check on these, y'all.
Don't forget to tell them where they can find the recipe.
Oh, this recipe is on the website. It may not be identical to the one I just did. It's going to be super close. I don't know if I use brown sugar. I might just use plain sugar. But it's going to be on the website, y'all, under pies and cobblers. You go to recipes and then pies and cobblers. And you should find them in alphabetical order. And you should be able to find sweet potato fried pies. And, of course, my sweet potato pie's on there. My granny's sweet potato pie's on there. We got the best sweet potato casserole you will ever put in your mouth. I promise. On there. Man, we got some good recipes for the holidays, don't we, Chris? Listen, I had somebody tell me the other day that Volume 1's recipes were really simple and ordinary, and I got to thinking. I just went through there, and actually I'm coming out with an edited new version of Volume 1, because when I wrote that cookbook, I had so much going on, I was half crazy, and the grammar and stuff is, Lord have mercy, it's bad. But anyway, all my homemade cakes are in there for the Thanksgiving. Our homemade chicken and dressing is in there. I mean, there's so much good stuff in that cookbook. And it's all of the things that we eat the most. Chicken and dumplings, Benefield chicken, my Italian cream cake that cannot be beat, my mother's homemade coconut cake. Whew, it's a good cookbook. And look at these pretty pies. And I think fried apple pies might be in there. Okay, these are brown. Let's get them out. But we just got a few more to cook. So what I do, so one side will have the little pretty, marks on it from the fork, and then one side won't. And as they cook, the grease does break down and get a little hotter. So once they start cooking, you got to turn it down. You really do, don't you, Chris? You got to do that with fried chicken, fried pies, just about anything. The grease does break down some. Now, you should be able to fry one batch and them still look pretty good without them turning black or ugly with bits of anything in the bottom of the skillet. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all these. I'm fixing them on the plate, then I'm going to show them to you. Get y'all over here in the light so y'all can see how pretty they look. Now, it's kind of dark outside, so it looks kind of dark over there at my oven, but those are beautiful and golden. Now what we're gonna do, and I'm having to watch these other pies as we speak. We're gonna take the cinnamon sugar and we're just gonna roll them in it. Just like that. Now my mama didn't do this, but I'm gonna tell you, it's good. Me and Chris love them this way. Don't we, Chris? And you can make these fried pies any kind you wanna make, and you can freeze them. I wrap them individually in foil, and then I freeze them, and y'all can get them out and put them in the air fryer. I gotta flip these right quick. You can get them out of the freezer, put them in the air fryer, and they're just like you just fried them. Oh, they're so good. Me and Chris freeze a lot of stuff like that. The air fryer is amazing for stuff like this. To warm stuff like this. Look at that pie. Just look at it. Don't y'all want to buy it? Look at that crunchy, fluffy, white lily flour crust. All right, look, we're going to get these other pies out right quick, and then we're going to eat one of those. Before they get too brown. Now, these won't be as pretty because they got in the oil once it had been used. But I'm going to tell you, those still taste good. But I will give you a tip. If you got old oil, if you just don't hardly ever fry nothing, and you've had oil in your house for a while, oil does go bad. I went to my sister's house and I fried pies with some oil that she had. Y'all, they were terrible. They tasted like old oil. And she thought I was crazy, but I wouldn't eat them. I said, something's wrong with that oil. She said, it ain't done it. I said, I know it is. And she went in there and checked the date on it, and it was out of date. I said, see, I told you so. So we're going to put some cinnamon sugar on these. We did real good. We didn't really waste much. Now let's open one up and taste it. Let me show you how it looks. So they're nice and crunchy on the outside. Now a lot of people make fried pies with pie dough, but a biscuit dough is super crunchy and light and fluffy. See how that looks? And you got to make sure that that oil is turned down enough that the dough gets done, and you can see it just looks like a biscuit. It's like a buttered biscuit because I fried in butter. Let me turn this up. Let's take a bite, y'all. I bet it's going to taste like a That is so good. You want to come taste one, Chris?
No.
He is not going to be on camera tonight. Man, that is some good stuff. If you bought that out somewhere at a festival, if you tasted of it, you'd go back and pay $5 for one. That's how good they are. Oh my gosh, they're good. Look at that. Okay, y'all. That's it. Thanks for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Y'all, get in that kitchen, mix you up some biscuit mix, and get you some fried pies made this Thanksgiving or for Halloween or whenever you want to do it. Boy, these are so delicious. I'm not kidding. They're amazing this time of year. We'll see you next time on Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Love ya. Bye. Come back and see us. Hit the like button. Go get you a sifter too, if you don't have one, so that you can cut out these rounds.